I'm Terry Phillips, after the news. This is the final exciting installment of my three-part series on citizenship. And let me ask you this. Are you an American citizen? If so, how did you achieve that status? Like me, you were probably born here. But nearly 1 in 10 Americans had to do it the old-fashioned way. They earned it. I wonder whether you could pass the same test that they did. Here are 3 examples of what new Americans need to know about our country. Correctly guess at least 2 of them, and you'll win our big prize, not being deported. Question number 1. What year was the Constitution written? If you said 1776, you're wrong. We'll get back to that in a moment. Question number 2. How many voting members does the House of Representatives have? If you said anything less than 400, you should just give up now. One last chance. Who was Commander-in-Chief during World War I? Nah, I'm guessing you're not even close. Time's up. The Constitution was written in 1787. There are 435 voting members in the House. And the Commander-in-Chief, or President of the United States, in World War I was Woodrow Wilson. If you studied American history and learned something about civics in school, those questions should have been easy. Now, I presume you consider yourself to be a good citizen, but what does that mean? For some of us, it's simply being a productive member of society, paying your taxes, and obeying the law, at least most of the time. But what else? Well, voting comes to mind. That is arguably a fundamental duty for citizens in a republic. So, do you vote? In a previous commentary, I mentioned that many Americans don't have full voting rights because they were born in U.S. territories, such as Puerto Rico or Guam. Others are disenfranchised because they were convicted of a felony. But even more of our fellow citizens simply choose to stay away from the polls. Care to guess how many are not even registered to vote? More than 50 million. 50 million. Let me put that in perspective. In next year's presidential election, the results will be determined by about 45 million votes. That's because our country is pretty evenly divided. But more people aren't even registered to vote than the number who decide the outcome. For a country that fancies itself as a champion of democracy in the world, we aren't such a great example. That said, most new citizens I know cherish their right to vote. Frankly, I'm not sure which is worse, being uninformed or failing to participate in the process. So, should a citizenship test be mandatory for all Americans? Maybe. But for now, I say, those of us who got our rights free of charge could learn a lot from people who had to stand in line and fight for them. Come on, vote. It's the least you can do as a citizen. I'm Terry Phillips. Thanks for listening, and please tell your friends.